I'm James Woolman. I'm sure, like me, you're concerned about the mental health issues that are happening in society at the moment. I want to do something about this. I want to take the stuff that I've learned over the past 10 years or so, talking to psychologists and economists and sociologists and anthropologists, and I want to share some of that stuff to help people stay well, to manage their emotional and mental health through this bumpy ride from full lockdown down to whatever this new normal looks like. So this is the second of a series of tips, tricks, habits, systems, rituals that you can use to improve your mental health and your happiness and your resilience and your success today. The one that I'd like to talk about today, since it's a Friday, it's the weekend coming, is this is perfect for the weekend, and this is borrowing from some research that someone at UCLA conducted and a bunch of other people. So look, if you think about life, you think about 2019 or 2018, or go back 2014. Most of life is that kind of grey line that's quite forgettable. You don't really remember that stuff. And what we tend to remember is the real peaks and the real troughs, the extraordinary stuff that sticks out from the ordinary when something happens, something great happens and you win, or your team wins, or you get the girl or get the guy or whatever, or something bad, something difficult happens. And the thing is about those extraordinary things that happen is they create happiness through all sorts of ways. One is they give us stories. Another is they give us stuff about us. They give us a sense of identity, a sense of self, and they build up. It's like psychologists think of it as actual capital. They're like investments for our future, and they give us a sense of I have lived. The Julius Caesar thing, Veni, Vidi, Vici, I came, I saw, I conquered, that real sense of I've lived. And I think that's what those extraordinary memories do. They build that for us. So in terms of what that means right now, right here, right now, you're probably thinking, that's great, James, what can I do with that for the weekend? Because I'm stuck at home, I'm in lockdown, I can't get on a train to Paris or fly somewhere, or, a lot of stuff is just not available right now. And so that's first thing. Another thought is, hey, what about ordinary experiences? Because there's also loads of data that shows that ordinary experiences are really amazing for happiness too, right? So I'm not saying you should live every day like your hair's on fire, you're really going for it. That's not necessary, and it's not really possible. But this really interesting piece of research by Cassie McGill and Holmes at UCLA showed that when she got people to treat a very ordinary experience, a weekend in fact, as a special experience, so they treat the normal weekend as a special weekend, just think of it in that way, people had a much happier time. They were much happier during the weekend and after the weekend by just thinking of it as something special. And so what I want to invite you to do is do that with your weekend. So you could put your tent up in the garden, pretend you're having a festival. You could have a French day and have croissant in the morning. You could speak in a French accent. I think that's a French accent, I don't know. You could say bonjour to each other. Instead of having steak and chips, you could have steak frites like you would have in a bistro in Paris somewhere. But the important thing here is that you treat this weekend like it's something special. You'll turn it into something extraordinary and memorable, and that will help you be happier.